The first meeting of the school's research network back in May of this year, we got some really useful kind of initial feedback from schools about what we were looking at, about what they felt were kind of the big concerns from their side. As the research has gone on and we've collected the actual data, those initial things that schools were saying to us in that more informal setting are actually kind of coming through in the much more formal data collection that we've been undertaking as well. Working with the schools that have been involved in the research itself, so the fieldwork sites, has been really helpful because we've adapted to their local priorities as well and worked with them to shape the topic guides for our kind of focus groups and interviews, working very kind of iteratively with them as well along the way.
So the research that we participated in was mental health culture post-COVID. The research project was phenomenal in the sense that they organised everything. It was communicated over email, and there was two things I had to do, and that was one, get permission from the students and their parents, but the letter was already pre-submitted. Two, permission from obviously the school. For the students, there was two focus groups, year 7 and 9, and they were consisted of 5 students per group. They were done in a separate room, not in the classroom, to take away that classroom teacher feeling. The boys afterwards did say, could they do this more often? It's really nice to talk about, how we are feeling. They had statements and they had to put statements in boxes of how they feel. And they said they enjoyed that because they were allowed to take ownership of, do teachers make me feel safe? And they were like, yes, 100%. So that was quite an interesting task.
Co-developing and co-designing research is really important because in terms of the perspective, so sometimes researchers answer questions that perhaps aren't the most relevant or aren't being shaped by the people that are going to be the beneficiaries of that particular research. So having both researchers, teachers, children, young people allows us to be really smart in the way that we frame questions and the methodology in which we use to answer the questions, as well as then implement the findings, because obviously research is important. We create new knowledge and understanding, but also how we apply that knowledge in the real world and the real context is very important in order to make those changes. And so for young people, we know that a lot of behaviours are developed during school life by enabling research to be both shaped by young people as well as for young people to be participants. We've got a much better opportunity to really focus on their health and well-being.
Both teachers and pupils definitely benefited from the research. It allowed us to grow, it allowed us to open up. And I think because the research was done by mental health practitioners, I think it allowed us to feel that what we were saying was going somewhere, but also it allowed us to just sometimes get something off our chest that we wouldn't normally talk about. And then similarly for the students, I think them talking about their feelings, knowing that these people don't know them and they don't know us, I think it was definitely a supportive environment for both.